$7,500 to $9K. So the field here, much, much bigger, a lot more options. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, so when you're dipping down below 9K, I mean, I think that a couple players just in that high 8K range are really going to stick out to people. I think Daniel Berger, Brooks Koepka, both guys we've seen on this Florida swing. I mean, I love the upside with Daniel. I think Daniel Berger might be the most underrated player in golf right now. I mean, you look at Daniel Berger at 8,800 and a player I just talked about in Xander Schauffele. You know, what is the difference between these two right now? I would actually almost give the slight edge to Berger. If it wasn't for a little back injury, we could be talking about a player who's just been like ripping off top fives. You know, if he closes out that Honda win, maybe he doesn't get caught in that horrible monsoon or whatever. You know, this could be a completely different situation with the salaries flipped. So again, it's not a situation that I think a lot of people will miss, and I expect Berger to garner some ownership. But man, I mean, I'd have no problem eating some chalk there with Daniel Berger this week, because I think he's way underpriced, and I think he's a player who's very capable of winning a big event. I think Brooks Koepka, with his good play in Florida in his last start, will garner some ownership too. But if you're really looking for like a lower owned play, I mean, I think you've got to kind of look down the list. And I think going to a guy like a Mark Leishman at 7,500, who shot like $1 million over par to end the Arnold Palmer Invitational last week. And that's tough, we get it, but Leishman was pretty solid all year. So, I mean, if you're writing him off based on one round, you kind of really don't have like that legitimate an argument. And, you know, he's really cheap. He's a quality player. He's only 7,500. And I think Leishman is the type of player that I'd want to target in this range for big field GPPs, just from the fact that he's probably going to be way underowned compared to, you know, what his salary is and his overall output has been in these big events long term.
I just think there's something about Sawgrass, though, that doesn't sit well with him, because he's missed the cut like 3 out of his past 4 appearances here. And then the one time he did make it to Saturday, he was T63, bro.
So it's a fair point. But the thing about Sawgrass is, you look down the list, most players here have like a couple bad miscuts. And some players have more bad miscuts than others, but you know, when you look at Mark Leishman's short-term and long-term form, he's really picked it up since that kind of disastrous like 2020 season he's had. The approach game has been clicking more. Leishman's a player who can get hot with the putter too. So has Sawgrass clicked with him? No. Would I be betting him to win in the outright market? Probably not. But I think with, again, you've got to consider all the factors for daily fantasy here.
Yes.
What's his ownership going to be? Are people going to be on him? And is his price at a discount? I think all things factor to yes there. So Leishman is a player I wouldn't mind sprinkling in for GPPs.